everyone. Okay, guys, so did you guys know that our director Courtney Brown has a daughter? Yeah, me either, but it looks like he does. That's what we're going to show you today. Okay, so I am Yemi Janae from Farsight. Let's get this on. You see, our director Courtney Brown has been talking about his ET contacts for a very long time. He talks about ETs like other people talk about walking to the deli and getting a sandwich. It's always been like that, like since day one. At Farsight, we just get used to it. When he taught us remote viewing, we sort of just got used to the idea that there was something real about all of this strangeness. If you've ever watched our stuff for long, I think you know the feeling. So every once in a while, he would talk about this daughter, that she's an extraterrestrial, and she lives on a ship. And usually we politely just nodded our heads and when he mentioned her and just went on with our normal stuff and basically ignored him because he says a lot of crazy stuff. Meanwhile, we just go on with our normal things, which for most people really isn't all that normal, but it's what we do here. You get used to it. Now, remember that what we do with all of our remote viewing sessions is completely blind, like totally blind. We don't know anything about what we're doing next, and even when we record our sessions on video as the last stage of the process, we're completely alone in the studio. And to make matters more serious, the projects and the targets are highly varied, and we always have no idea and no way in the universe of guessing what it could possibly be next on the agenda. So one day, our lovely director, Courtney Brown, wrote up a project that involved a specific trip that he said he had to visit his daughter on the ET ship. Apparently he does that regularly. So with this new project, there is a target and he slipped it to us. Again, we knew nothing about what was coming our way, nothing at all. So now I want to show you exactly how much we know about targets when we do a session. Take a look at this. This here's a screenshot that we are sent that tells us our monthly duties. We get this in a text message. The only thing that we know is that if we don't do these things when we're supposed to, we don't get paid. So notice that there's nothing at all that indicates what the content of the projects are for the month. The screenshot's all we get, and it only tells us when the due dates are. Since we all need to pay our bills and getting everything done on time is important, it's always blind. We just do our sessions. So for this project, we simply knew that it was done by a certain date, period, end of story. After we all did our projects and our sessions, we recorded everything live on video. Only then were we told what the target is during our target reveal. And that is when we found out that our sessions focused on one of his trips to the ship to visit his daughter. So guys, honestly, if you think that this is at all strange, believe me, all of us at Farsight think it's strange too. We agree with you. You have no idea how strange it is to work at Farsight. Every single month we end up saying, what? Like what? Usually I'm the main one that's like, Courtney, now tell me more about this. What kind of buffoonery do you have me doing here? But we have gotten used to it, used to most of the strangeness, not all of it. Courtney's pretty strange himself. But meeting Courtney's daughter was a new one to us, like really new. So given that we did our sessions completely blind, we all got the same results, I guess we have to say he really has a daughter. Still got my questions, Courtney Brown, sir. But now we have questions. All of us have questions. Does this mean that he just goes gallivanting around the galaxy and philandering and doing all sorts of stuff with his alien lady friends? Or like, how the heck did he get a daughter? I keep asking how old she is. He won't tell me. So whatever, he has a daughter on a ship. We can see that now. But how the heck did that happen? Did he meet someone on an ET disco ship? I'd like to see that. I'd like to go to an ET disco ship, by the way. Did he go to ET version of the movies? Is he a dork on ET dates? I'm pretty sure he is. Like what? Because like, anyways, I can go on with this forever. I digress. Let's get back to his daughter. On the positive side, she seems like a nice person. Sort of different, but very nice. She is not a complete human person, but she's still a nice person. She is clearly ET, or at least partially ET. I really don't know. It's pretty complicated. I'm still confused. To be honest, Courtney is pretty complicated. So why don't you just see all the sessions for yourself and see what's going on? Courtney Brown on an ET ship interacting with his daughter. And by the way, he never asked any of us to go with him to these extravaganzas on these cool ships. I never got a date with an ET, like never. None of my friends ever got a date romantically involved with an ET on a ship. So like, I would like to go on an ET movie, ship, date, situation, thingy-majiggy bobber. But whatever, Courtney, keep all the things to yourself. Again, I digress. I'm clearly in my feelings here because what? Time travelers. As with all Farsight projects, there's a target. The target for this project is Courtney Brown interacting with his daughter in her ship on the 21st of June, 2012. Now, as a part of that interaction, he was apparently sitting with her inside the ship, possibly at a console. As you will soon see, she was sometimes a little bit jumpy when we all arrived unannounced, which makes sense, but she kept things together. We eventually had to jump over to the commander of the ship to get more information about what was going on. We had no idea that the male human talking with this ET lady was Courtney. Why would we even think that was a possibility? So, to find out later that it was him, that was pretty weird. And this is actually the second time that's happened to me. But yeah, it made sense. You have to see the session for yourself to see how strange all of this is. But now I want to make a comment. There is a new Harvard study out there that is claiming that it is possible that extraterrestrials could be intermingling with us here on Earth. Essentially reinstating what Professor David M. Jacobs wrote about for years in his books, and even the late Professor John Mack, also from Harvard. David M. Jacobs and John Mack caught a lot of flack for talking about this subject and for discussing data relating to this in general. But now it is becoming more common for people in high places to talk about it. Well, so just think about it. If some of the extraterrestrials are friendly, don't you think that they would want to have some direct interactions with some groups here on Earth? Do you think that they would fly only around in their ships and look down from above? Just wondering. So these professors are now talking about ETs secretly interacting with humans. But don't you think that the good ETs would want their interactions to be public, that is not so secret? What is really weird is that these academics are not asking the obvious question. What about Farsight? It's one thing to say that there are ETs walking among us and even manipulating human political leaders. But those are the things that are hidden from most people. But shouldn't it be obvious that the good ETs would also want one or more fully human groups to be openly interacting with the ETs, like not in secret? Like openly interacting. They would want human groups to be liaisons between them and the rest of humanity. It would look really bad to the public if the ETs never tried to do things openly. How can you trust a group who always does everything in secret? They have to at least try to do some things openly if they expect anyone ever to trust them. And why are the academics so thoroughly trying to bury their heads in the sands on this issue? At Farsight, everyone here is fully human. We were all born here and raised here, but what we are not is a secret. We have no secrets, and that's truly the whole point. We don't want there to be secrets, and the good ETs don't like secrecy. Only the bad ETs demand secrecy at all levels, and not everyone working with the ETs has to be an ET. The US government has lots and lots of people who work directly with the ETs, the group who we at Farsight like to call the bad ETs. And we call them bad ETs because they do bad stuff to Earth humans, stuff that the good ETs do not like. And nearly all academics ignore those interactions as well, the secret ones and the not so secret ones. So there are interactions with the ETs, both hidden and not hidden. The government has hidden interactions, but those of you who are following our work at Farsight are seeing real interactions that are not hidden. I hope you see the difference. We do not want to hide what we do. Whether or not anyone believes us at all is completely different from whether or not what we do here at Farsight is real. We are aligned with the free will side of ETs, so we are not hiding anything. It is your choice as to whether or not you want to believe what you can see us doing with your own eyes. But you cannot blame us for hiding things from you. Time travelers, remember that everything done at Farsight is data driven. We don't tell you what other people say. We collect our own raw data and base all of our conclusions on those data. And we show you how we collect our data. Our data is replicable and our conclusions are reasonable. But before we show you what we found about Courtney Brown's random daughter, do you guys want to see a UFO that we have recorded with our own cameras here at Farsight? Hint, hint. Nearly all of the UFOs that we capture with our own cameras are being flown by what we call the bad ETs, the ones running the planet as a prison. If they were flown by the good ETs, the US Secret Space Program would be trying to shoot them down. So these UFOs that we capture with our own cameras here at Farsight are not the ones being shot down by the American Secret Space Program. Here's a great one. Take a look. Remember that we are trying to encourage other people to make their own UFO videos by following our methods. We have figured out how to evade the ET stealth attack by shooting at 120 frames per second and in infrared. They can run, but they can't hide. You can see the details of our method on our website, farsight.org, and you can see us analyzing our footage in various projects on farsightprime.com. Also, you can see a variety of UFO clips for free on our Director Brown's Instagram page, Courtney Brown Farsight, all one word. That is Instagram and then Courtney Brown Farsight, all one word. Instagram is very convenient to watch on your phone, so we hope you get interested in shooting your own videos of ET spacecrafts and even posting those on your Instagram. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to do. It's like fishing. Each day, you never know what you will catch on video. It's pretty fun. So let's get back to Courtney's random daughter. Okay, she's not random, but this is just a random situation. Now that we have finally sorted out that he really has a daughter, let's see what that is all about. After you see all the sessions, I will return to pull things together. Although I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to pull together a director who is philandering all over the galaxy. Anywho, here is the raw data. Make up your own mind.